Good evening and welcome to this special edition of Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Alana Andrade. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we'll take a look back at our stories from our sports bureau, from the passing of the Super Bowl baton to Arizona to the impact of sports betting in our state. Her passion for sports and boosting programs has landed this Phoenix native a top spot at GCU. Cronkite News reporter Zachary Larson has more on the new athletic director at Grand Canyon University.
Just 3 miles north of Grand Canyon University is where athletic director Jamie Boggs grew up. After several years at Duke and Georgia State, she found herself back in Phoenix doing what she loves.
I remember growing up, the only thing I ever really loved was sports. I mean, if you're from Phoenix, and most of us here grew up diehard Phoenix Suns fans, and so I was a Phoenix Suns fan. I decided that I was going to pursue that and maybe not use my psychology degree or my law degree.
Boggs was brought to GCU in 2015 as a deputy athletic director. After leading Georgia State's effort to elevate the school's football program to bowl eligibility, now she's tasked with transitioning GCU from a Division II school to a Division I.
Jamie is unbelievable in terms of what she does behind the scenes to give the athletes and this university the best experience possible, whether they're here for 4 or 5 years. That's what's in the forefront of her mind.
Boggs has hired 3 new head coaches, including men's basketball coach Bryce Drew, who helped the school to its first WAC championship and first ever NCAA tournament appearance in 2021.
Being a coach and then, having an athletic director that really knows the industry, that knows the school, she's been very helpful to me. Again, above all that stuff, I think her moral compass and her beliefs fit perfectly with GCU.
Boggs became the school's first woman named vice president of athletics in April 2021 and is one of 3 female Asian American athletic directors at the Division I level, a feat she hopes will inspire others to be in her shoes one day.
I realize now, and I'm very intentional about making sure that I guess it's not, I wouldn't say pressure, but just being very intentional about, supporting women and minorities who are also looking to be in the athletics director role.
With numerous conference championships since her arrival, the next step is to turn those wins into national championships one day. In Phoenix, Zachary Larson, Cronkite News. We start with GCU men's basketball player Dima Zador, who came to the United States from Ukraine on his own to play basketball. It was a tough end to the season for Zador, who is thinking about his family back in Ukraine, including his uncle and father, who are on the front lines.
About half of my family right now fighting for their town right now on the front lines, and it's a little tougher in the past 2-3 days because Russian soldiers, they blew up their power plants, so people are struggling to charge their cell phones.
His basketball family is supporting Zador during this time, but the sophomore forward is worried for his family, whom he talks to about once every 24 hours. Although he's not helping physically, he's doing everything he can to spread awareness of what's happening in his home country.
I understand there is not much I can do physically from here, but I'm just trying to do as much as I can on social media and spread true information that comes from my family and tens of other families around the country.
More than anything, the support Zador has received has meant everything to him, as he continues to do his part by having his voice heard on social media. My thanks to Zador for sharing his story with me.
Finally, college basketball is not the only tournament to begin. The best wrestlers in the country are making their way to Detroit for the NCAA Division I Championship. Cronkite News reporter Shane Fricke has a closer look at ASU's hopes for a title.
The ASU wrestling team is coming off their 3rd straight Pac-12 championship after narrowly beating Oregon State and Tempe last week. And even though every trophy is important, the Sun Devils have their sights set on something bigger.
A little bit of the new normal is to win the Pac-12 championship. I think it's kind of something they expect. Obviously, having 6 champions feels good. But the real show is coming, right? That's the Ncaa Tournament in 2 weeks.
Big aspirations of winning the NCAA tournament comes with pressure. For Coach Jones, he knows it's important to keep his athletes level-minded.
People tend to get weird at championship time. The pressure, oh my God, I gotta win. For us, it's really just being thankful and grateful for the opportunity. We're grateful that we get to be here, thankful we get to be in this situation.
Jones's message of being grateful has helped undefeated heavyweight wrestler Colton Schultz keep his nerves down and his excitement up.
Got to remind myself just to be grateful that being a top guy. Sure, there's a lot of targets on, a lot of people looking to beat you, but at the same time, I know I got a great support system cheering me on, and I know on my best day I can beat anybody.
The Sun Devils are taking 7 wrestlers to the tournament this year, 6 champions and 1 at-large bid. These 7 wrestlers aim to bring home the team national championship trophy, a feat that hasn't been done since 1988. In Tempe, Shane Fricke, Cronkite News.
To golf, where the ASU women's team has a pair of matches in the next 2 weeks before the Pac-12 tournament starts April 18th. The Sun Devils have a lot of international players, and as Cronkite News reporter Marty Savlov tells us, the roster diversity contributes to the team's success.
ASU athletes come from all over the world. On the women's golf team, Alessandra Finale is from Italy and Alexandra Fosterling is from Germany. Together, they have found comfort in having each other over the past 4 years.
We actually didn't really know each other, but after we got at ASU, we were both freshmen. We have been living together. I think it's nice because we miss a lot from home, kind of in the same way, but on the other side, we're both from different cultures too, so it's great to see what's different.
So we always compare to each other, and then sometimes, even when we don't understand words, I would say, I would look at them and I would be like, how is it in your language? How is that word in your language? And then we would see, it's kind of similar.
Head coach Missy Farke feels the positive impact of having athletes from different walks of life and how this equates to the team's success.
It's wonderful to have the mix that we have because they all learn so much from each other. They come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different golf backgrounds. And when there's synergy, it works really well. It's a lot of fun to watch.
The team is continuing to grow and learn together as a cohesive, diverse unit. In Phoenix, Marty Savlov, Cronkite News.
For the first time in the history of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, sports betting is legal in Arizona, and the bets are rolling in. Cronkite News reporter Parker Gray has more on what Arizona sportsbooks are anticipating this March.
Since sports betting was legalized in Arizona back in September 2021, bettors in the state have placed their fair share of bets on the World Series, Super Bowl, and countless other sporting events. Now it's college basketball's turn, March Madness.
The first weekend of the NCAA tournament is the second most bet upon sporting event behind the Super Bowl. And if you add up the 2 days, it actually produces more sports betting revenue usually than the Super Bowl.
Like the Super Bowl, March Madness draws in the casual fan. Whether it's an office pool or a group of friends and family, everyone wants to be the one to make that perfect bracket. This March, the casual fan may place their first bet.
Last year, the total in the United States in the month of March was $4.6 billion. Obviously, since then, Arizona's come online. So we here at BetArizona.com expect Arizona to probably be 4th or 5th in the country in terms of revenue in March, right around where they have been.
With the U Arizona men's basketball team as a top seed and the women's team seeded 4th, bets for both teams are expected to pile up in the state.
So I see Arizona men's and women's basketball being a huge generator of revenue in March. I think both teams are going to make it easily into the second weekend, at least, maybe even to that Final Four level. And I think that's going to be huge.
While Arizona hasn't made it into a men's Final Four in over 20 years, they have the second best odds behind Gonzaga to win the championship this year. With Gonzaga on the opposite end of the bracket, the path may be open for the Wildcats. In Phoenix, Parker Gray, Cronkite News.
Now, not many people know about the monster trucks that travel around the country every weekend. However, many know the name Gravedigger. The legendary truck is celebrating a special anniversary this year. Cronkite News reporter Michael Garaffa was on hand for its first stop in Arizona.
Monster Jam Stadium Tour Yellow rolled into State Farm Stadium with the legendary Gravedigger celebrating its 40th anniversary.
It's crazy how long this truck's lasted. I mean, Dennis Anderson created this truck back in 1982, and I'm proud to be out here representing it.
Our fans have been behind us since 1982, 40 years. So the best thing we can do is not only give them Gravedigger and a 40th anniversary edition of that, but Son of a Digger. And I'm going to go out there just like I'm a digger.
In 2017, after 35 years, Gravedigger's creator and main driver, Dennis Anderson, stepped out of the truck for good. But his family continues the legacy, as all 4 of his kids are now behind the wheel.
So now it's 4 Andersons, my older brother Adam, my little sister Kristen, and my little brother Weston.
It's an all-star lineup on Team Gravedigger, and definitely something I'm proud to be a part of.
Ryan Anderson holds the world record for the longest bicycle in a monster truck and showed off his skills in front of thousands of fans at State Farm Stadium. He was able to secure the only win for Team Digger during the weekend.
I'd love to match my world record inside of a stadium. That would be awesome, but even just to make one entire lap would be a huge feat in itself.
Anderson managed to win the overall event championship, maintaining the top spot on the tour. If he can hold that lead, it would qualify him for the Monster Jam World Finals in Orlando in May. Winning a World Finals championship there would provide the perfect cap to their 40th anniversary season. In Glendale, Michael Garaffa, Cronkite News.
Arizona's Central Christian Church partnered with the Prison Fellowship Organization to host a basketball camp that benefited children with incarcerated parents. Cronkite News reporter Michael Bosky has this story.
Central Christian Church in Mesa hosted the Phoenix area Angel Tree Basketball Sports Camp through the Prison Fellowship Organization to benefit kids of incarcerated parents. This camp benefited more than 150 kids ages 7 to 17. Each participant left with a Bible, a basketball, and a new pair of shoes.
What excites me is that it's not just about a day of fun. This is about truly having long-term impact on the lives of these kids and families. These kids have been through so much trauma, and it's really our job to show them that there's a different way, and that people actually care and love them, and that their choices can shape the direction of their lives.
The Angel Tree Basketball Camp is more than just a day of playing hoops. It's about building a community, showing love, and giving these kids a support system they can reach out to in the future.
I think really the other purpose of this program isn't really just about today, but it's like when they leave, they're going to leave with a resource and a community that they can still be a part of, right?
The most important aspect of the Prison Fellowship Organization is breaking the cycle of incarceration and helping these children make good choices with their lives. Building friendships, providing support, and teaching these children life lessons through sports can make a huge difference in their lives.
I think it's probably a surprise to a lot of folks how many kids whose parents are incarcerated are right here in our community. They're all over the place and we just don't know them. And so it's just a big deal for us to go, how do we actually be a presence with those in our community to help encourage them, bless them, provide in whatever way we can.
In Mesa, Michael Bosky, Cronkite News.
For the first time since the pandemic, the Findlay Toyota Center in Prescott Valley welcomed back the Harlem Globetrotters. Cronkite News reporter Gareth Kwok takes a look at the changing sports and entertainment scene at the arena.
About 2,000 fans filed into the Findlay Toyota Center in Prescott Valley for a night of slam dunks and surprises from the Harlem Globetrotters.
It's a lot of fun for the kids in the area, the families. It's a fun, good, feel-good show.
The Globetrotters ran up and down the Northern Arizona Suns court, who left Prescott Valley a year and a half ago, leaving some fans longing for minor league hoops again.
The main reason I came is because of the Naz Suns, and now that they're not here, I'd never really go here.
The Naz Wranglers indoor football team is the only remaining professional team in Prescott Valley, but the multi-purpose arena has now turned to a variety of events to entertain fans and families, from concerts, ice skating, and bull riding.
The versatility, like you can have one day like a band and then one day bull riding and then monster trucks. It's fun all around.
I thought there wasn't going to be anything for me to do, and I found that because of this, there's lots for me to do.
They used to have the Sundogs in here, and it was super exciting. I heard a lot about the AZ or the Northern Arizona Suns, about their games and how exciting they were. So I think the community would definitely welcome it.
While fans hope for another professional team, the arena celebrated its 15th birthday back in November, and the support has stayed strong throughout.
Everybody is so excited to be a part of anything here, and all the local businesses are really excited about all the attention that we have. So it's exciting, and instead of begging people to come, everybody's actually already excited.
In Prescott Valley, Gareth Kwok, Cronkite News.
Staying on the ice, a hockey alumni group in Arizona gives ex-NHL players a chance to get back on the frozen pond for a good cause. Cronkite News reporter Emily Bernstein went to a recent alumni charity game in Tucson.
The passion behind playing hockey does not end with retirement. NHL alumni in Arizona still get the chance to suit up on the ice and play exhibition games against the future generations to raise money across the state.
As an ex-NHL player, you've been on the ice since you were 4 years old, your whole life. So right when you retire, you might retire from the NHL, but you never retire from hockey.
Alumni in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s recently played a charity exhibition game in Tucson against Arizona players and raised $5,000 for the university's hockey program.
It costs a lot to run a program like this and to compete at a high level and to play the top teams. You got to travel. To do those things, feed them, take care of them, pay for the ice, it takes a lot of equipment, and so it's critical to the program establishing itself at the level it is.
Even though these players are no longer playing in front of packed arenas every night, the alumni love to get back on the ice and put on a show when it comes to giving back to the sport of hockey.
The whole thing they're doing is great, not only to honor the NHL players of the past, but to support the current hockey groups.
I'm from Arizona. I was born and raised in Scottsdale and played for the junior Coyotes, so it's awesome giving back to players that are within the state, schools that are in the state, and it's a great charity.
Over the last 13 years, the alumni have donated over $1.3 million back to hockey from Flagstaff all the way to Tucson.
It's a lot of fun giving back to the Valley. The Arizona fans are absolutely fantastic, and we're trying to give back to the community as well.
The old-timers remain undefeated against the University of Arizona. However, there is so much the younger athletes can gain on the ice when it comes to facing up against former professional hockey players.
It's really a celebration of hockey, and that's what makes it so much fun.
And it's fun for these retired players to know they've still got it. In Tucson, Emily Bernstein, Cronkite News.
Arizona isn't a traditional hotbed for boys volleyball, but after becoming the first Arizona team to win the Best of the West Invitational in California, Sandra Day O'Connell High School became the top-ranked team in the country. Cronkite News reporter Hayden Weber visited the Rising program.
Sandra Day O'Connor can officially call themselves the best in the West. The Eagles followed up their 7-0 showing in California with a victory over Perry, the team they lost to in last year's state championship game. Losing just 2 sets all season, head coach Troy Dooling's team is nearly untouchable. The roster is stacked with 6 college signees, including the towering Zach Rama.
I think we've been playing together for a long time, some of us like 4 to 5 years, even since we've all started playing volleyball. I think we also have a really strong bond off the court, which helps.
Rama grew up playing basketball in a volleyball family. His mother, Shoni, played at the University of Memphis, and his sister, Piper, is a member of the women's volleyball team at O'Connor. Making the switch over to volleyball opened doors for the hitter as he signed his letter of intent to play for UCLA. While not an outspoken vocal leader, Rama's impact on the court is felt when the team needs him most.
He certainly leads by example. He brings it. He's a physical leader. Like when the team needs something on the court, he's going to deliver it.
Rama's commitment to UCLA, a perennial powerhouse, is a big step for the local volleyball scene. GCU's signee Jackson Herr is an advocate for the sport and believes this team is setting the standard for the future of volleyball in Arizona.
I think there is a lot of good players here, and I think I encourage more players to play all the time. It's such a great sport and easy to get into.
Coach Dooling believes that the local success has been decades in the making, and with the amount of talent in the youth pipeline, it's here to stay. In Phoenix, Hayden Weber, Cronkite News.
Bellator Mixed Martial Arts made its way to downtown Phoenix for a big-time event, which saw Arizona-based heavyweight champion Ryan Bader defend his title for the first time since 2019. Cronkite News reporter Parker Dunn was on hand for Bader's victory.
What a spectacular night it was here at the Footprint Center right on behind me for Bellator 273. This night had it all, I promise you. It had the submissions, the TKOs, and it had the championship fight going the distance with Ryan Bader coming out on top. He was the underdog in this one, but he pulled it off via unanimous decision after going the distance.
I knew I was going to fight till the very bitter end, and I think that's what won me the fight. He was tired. I was pretty damn tired at some points too, but I knew if I just kept working, I had the potential to come out with a win. The manager grabbed me and he's like, "Hey, Congo and Paris in May." I'm like, "Okay." you know, it's actually nice. You know, it's not like I'm getting any younger, right? You know, I'm 38 years old, and you know, I had a fight in October. Obviously, here tonight in January, running again in May. You know, let's just rack them up. You know, and so I'm excited about that fight. Like I was saying earlier, that's a fight that I always wanted to run back just because of the no contest.
Ryan Bader retaining the belt in front of the home crowd. It was electric, but this isn't it for Bader. The 38-year-old fighter is going to take on Czech Congo in the next fight on May 6th, where he's going to look to defend that heavyweight title once again. It should be a good one. In Phoenix, Parker Dunn for Cronkite News.
With the growing popularity of pickleball, many are finding a passion in the new opportunities for team-based play. Cronkite News reporter Anya Rogers sees just how the sport is expanding.
The 2022 state championships, hosted by the Arizona Pickleball Players League, brought together teams and fans from different regions to play and celebrate the sport they love.
This is our, I think, third year doing the championships, and they're getting better and better every year. We've got swag for the players. They get tags, they get hats, the champions get hats. So we're just continue to grow it, and it's going to get bigger and bigger.
We're looking forward to not only doing this, but ultimately then our state champions will play another state's champions and carry on in that process to the extent someday we'll be talking about national championships for team-based league pickleball.
It's not just the sport nor the competition, it's the team play aspect that makes these players love the game of pickleball even more.
We're playing with a team where we show up every week with 6 players. The sense of camaraderie is just something else. I haven't experienced that in this game. I play tournaments, but you're pretty much on your own. Play rec play, you're on your own with your buddies, but the camaraderie, the team efforts that it takes to play in the Apple League is just something else that most of us couldn't have imagined before.
What I love about team-based pickleball is I love community. And each team is its own little community. Each team lifts each other up, and they get together and they fight for a championship.
Team-based pickleball has made the sport more competitive, supportive, and fun. Teams look forward to winning together and rooting for each other with goals of competing together for state and national titles. In Casa Grande, Anya Rogers, Cronkite News.
What you get from Washington Week that you will not get anywhere else are the best and the brightest reporters from different media companies, and they're able to have a real conversation about things that are happening in Washington and around the country. But it's also a show about issues that are relevant to different communities.
How do you think that
as the moderator, I feel this deep responsibility to bring in those other perspectives so that people understand how power and politics impact their daily lives.
Friday nights at 7 on Arizona PBS.
Passport is adding new shows and doubling the number of episodes for you to stream. For the first time ever, our most popular programs have been selected just for you.
But there's so much more.
Whether you like to travel,
Wow.
feast,
And calories don't count.
look back,
That is me.
discover.
You know the whole story.
There's something for everyone.
Let's get to it right away.
Stream on any device with Passport on the PBS Video app. Your favorite member benefit is getting better and bigger.
This is wonderful.
Over the next year, Passport is adding new shows and doubling the number of episodes for you to stream.
They give us all that they've got.
From your favorite cooking and travel series,
Even the stairs are breathtaking.
to history specials and award-winning documentaries, better and bigger.
That really is the fun part.
Stream on any device with Passport on the PBS Video app.
As we inch closer to the kickoff of Super Bowl 56, the country's eyes are turning to a new stadium in Inglewood that will host the event. Cronkite News reporter Joey Vaca in our Los Angeles bureau spoke to locals to find out how the host city is preparing for the biggest game of the year.
Just 11 miles from the heart of downtown Los Angeles lies Inglewood, California, home to SoFi Stadium and Super Bowl 56. And while hip-hop has immortalized Inglewood as being always up to no good, Inglewood Mayor James Butts feels hosting the Super Bowl shows all is good.
This is just another one of those things that brands the city as the new Inglewood, but with the same people. And that's what we're most proud of.
Inglewood is no stranger to major events. The Great Western Forum here was famously home to the Showtime Lakers. But Sunday's spectacle at SoFi will still pose a test.
We've been planning for 4 months, and it's going to be one of the biggest public safety endeavors, but we're proud to do it, and we're definitely up to the challenge.
City officials aren't the only ones gearing up. Local small business owners are prepping, hiring temporary staff.
And I told all my crew, look, there's no days off from February, I think I said February 5th to February 17th or something. I said, nobody's taking a day. It was 2 weeks that we're all working.
According to the Super Bowl host committee's economic impact report, the city could see economic gains of $23 to $52 million as a result. But for locals here, it's about more than just dollars and cents. The Super Bowl is just the first of many events coming through SoFi Stadium these next few years, like the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2028 Olympics. And navigating their impacts won't always be easy.
Logistically, as a business, things that come in that we're going to be able to get better. We do have, other events coming. We have national championships. We have Olympics coming in a few years. So we're going to learn from it.
But for leaders here, opportunities to host events like the Super Bowl are seen as more steps in a good direction.
So when you look at a city and you see that you're hitting all the right notes as it relates to creating a society, then you're more likely to want to be there and be part of it.
In Inglewood, Joey Vaca, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. And for more top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.